My name is Charles Hutton. I'm a piano teacher in the Southeast United States, and we are learning Für Elise by Ludwig van Beethoven. This is part B, phrase 3 for the left hand, and I already showed you the right hand in a previous video, and now it's time to figure out these easy positions. We're just going to have two positions, and then at the end we're going to have kind of a surprise position. So I'm going to consider it 2.5 positions. Here's our first position the left hand will need. On the score, the left-hand part here is written with a treble clef, and that's because left hand will be as high as middle C for the 5th finger. When you're in that position of 5 fingers on 5 adjacent white keys, we are going to be playing finger 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1, 2, 4, and 1, 3, 5. So there is going to be a descending line embedded in those chords. Of F, E, D, C. Whenever I practice more, I will be playing those with legato on F, E, D, C, but staccato on the other notes. And that'll make it a little easier to hear that descending stepwise motion in the chords. I would also try to play the descending notes louder than the top notes. After that, we move to an F position, and we have that cadence to C. Here's how it looks. It's finger 3 and 5, 4 and 2, and then finger 1 on middle C. We do have finger 5 on F, so I'm calling this an F position. You're probably noticing these chords are slower than the ones that we did at first. The ones that we did at first are written on the score as 16th notes. And these are written as 8th notes. If you were going to count this, you'll be counting to 3 because the time signature is 3-8, and we're starting in the middle of a measure here. So this is going to be and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. There's our surprise. So this will be the end of phrase 3 of this part for the left hand. I'll play it for you again. We do that once, we go down once, then we repeat it all over again. And whenever we go down the second time, we're not going to end on middle C, we're going to end with G sharp and B. This will be a dominant chord that will take us back to the main theme of the piece, because an E chord with E, G sharp, B leads you back to A minor, which is the home base of Für Elise. So, here it is again, maybe in more slow motion. And I recommend playing the G sharp and B with finger 3 and 1 just because the interval of a third feels really easy with those fingers. The beginning of part B also has a descending line in the left hand. So I'm going to be bringing that out with a legato touch. One and two, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and... All right, I'll play a little faster now, just still left hand by itself. I was taken by surprise a little by having to leap down at that speed, so I haven't practiced this piece enough, and in order to practice your leaps, you'll remember, perhaps, from previous videos that I recommend just moving the position silently without even pushing the keys down for a bit to teach your brain the distance that you'll need to be moving. Okay, I think I'll play it a third time and just try to go really fast. That was slightly faster, not really, really fast, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. I hope you've enjoyed learning the left hand phrase 3 for part B of this piece by Beethoven, and I'll see you next time.